What's up YouTube and welcome back to KangBrosTV. This is a reaction video to Anthony Yarde versus Kovalev. Now, you know how man say I hate to tell you I told you so, innit? I don't, bruv. I don't at all. We told everyone that Kovalev, just like you said, is no joke and that Kovalev would most likely win this fight. Bruv, you can call it what you want, bruv. You call us the Sofas fans, you can call us what you want, bro. But we told you.
The thing is, I almost called it perfectly as well, because I said he's going to get stopped on his feet. I said, there's no chance he'll get stopped on his feet, but he didn't. But listen, again, we were saying it from the get-go that it's not like we don't want Yarde to win, because we really did. And watching that fight, both of us were going nuts. Because
eighth round, man, were buzzing.
Because we wanted Yarde to win, and it is the whole underdog story. But if you were asking how you think it's going to pan out, pretty much how I thought. Too much experience, too much know-how. Championship rounds experience, knows how to win. Kovalev said it himself afterwards. He said to him, you're a top fighter, you will be a world champion. But experience won me that fight. And that's exactly what it was. That's too early. You're going to go to Russia, you're going to go take on a world-class operator in his back garden, and you've got to fight the perfect fight. And no disrespect, because Yarde fought better than I thought he would in that fight. And he had opportunities, he opened up that fight to even win it. But, you know, I know you're going to talk about it in a minute, but I also think that the leadership in the corner is slightly to be desired.
We'll get onto that, yeah. But like, I want to start this video off on a positive, because lions in the camp. He proved the guy has got heart of a lion, and the way not just first of all just to take in that fight is a massive risk. Mentioning no names, right? There's other people out there, fighters watching, that won't never take that risk. Yeah, we all know who we're talking about. They ain't taking those risks. So first of all, he's proven that, yeah. And then to do that in the mate's backyard, and he almost won the fight. Kovalev's corner is telling them that if you don't show up in the next round, we're gonna cancel this fight. So, like I said, this is what the fans want to see. This is what we want to see as boxing fans. None of this Mickey Mouse shit. This fight for Yarde, he would have learnt so much that he would have done in any other sparring session, any other amateurs, whatever. That fight alone, yeah, would have taken to new levels that he never ever would have gone to before. And this is what I want to say, is that Anthony Yarde proved that he's a beast, he's got heart, and he can take a bang. He took licks in that fight, and he proved, bruv, that he has got a chin. I don't care what anyone says.
That's why now I think, and again, I said this before the fight, my concern would be, has he had enough fights of note to be able to compete at this level? Clearly not. Is probably the answer, but I think this is going to take him to another level, because I think, and the other thing is that at that level, a lot of people were precious about not losing. Now, as I said, it's always nice to have a perfect record. Don't get me wrong, but now he's had a defeat. It's going to be interesting to see him come back, because I think he'll have that bit between his teeth to say, right, okay, I don't want to lose again, but equally, I also know what I did wrong in that fight. And it's like, okay, well, that's out the way now. That little monkey's off his shoulder. He can move forward now and say, right, okay, I'm not worried about that O anymore. I know I lost. I've got so much more experience. Take on the next guys.
But let me ask you: do you, now that he's lost, do you personally give a shit about the L?
No, not at all. Well, no, but
I couldn't care less.
Yeah, no, but it's not you, innit? It's not necessarily you.
I'm saying, but as in fans, do you people going about this whole this old L and stuff? But do you care? Like for me now, when I look back at that fight, I just think what a great fight it was. That's all I see in my head. And when I look back at it, I say, yeah, you know what? That was a sick fight, and I clocked it. I didn't miss that fight. I was mad. That's all I'm gonna think. So this whole thing about the whole perception about you losing your L, I think UFC have got it off to a T. No one gives a shit about L's in UFC. You go there, you fight. Any man can win on the day, and that's what it is. Now, like I go back to it again, Yarde would have learned so much from this fight, but then the question is, like we said, if he had taken those 3 steps before this fight, would he have gone and won this fight in the 8th round?
And that's what I think that's what the real question would be. That's what it boils down to. I think. Do you think could he be guided better? And I know he's got a lot of trust in Tunde and whatever, but could he have been advised and probably guided better in a fight of that magnitude and what you've done to get to that point?
As you brought Tunde up, yeah. Tunde, I'm sorry. I said from time that don't get me wrong. I don't want to shit on their relationship. They must have a great relationship, and he was saying some good things in the corner that I seen. But I did say Tunde worries me. I said this before the fight. And the reason why I say that is because I felt that Yarde should have been pulled out before that last round. I saw his legs go. Tunde, you watch Yarde day in and day out. I don't watch Yarde day in, day out, and I could tell that the tank was empty.
Because he told him to, that's why.
He told him, empty the tank. Empty the tank. And that's what he did, bruv. But you got to protect your fighter. And for me, I think this was some selfishness shit there from Tunde for himself to actually wait for this one magical bang that he was waiting for, and because of all the shit and the smack that he's been talking before the fight, because it's how badly he wanted to run it. And you need to protect your fighter. And this is why I believe that this whole trainer relationship sometimes goes a bit too far, because you're missing what's going to happening right in front of you. And I said this, and I called it. I said, listen, Yarde should be pulled out from this fight now for this next round, and he shouldn't have been knocked out the way he was from a stiff left jab, bro.
And also, it was a case of empty the tank. Now, listen, there's no reason for you to be emptying the tank. Even if you think he's there for the taking, which he was, emptying the tank's the wrong advice. Don't be going all out and blow a gasket. Let's up the work rate. Up the work rate, because I think he's there for the taking. Up the work rate. I think the chances are to take him out. Empty the tank. Everyone knows, you automatically, someone says to you, empty the tank, you have an automatic thought in your mind, go all out, go foot down, I'm going to put my foot down, I'm going to go for it. Now, I don't believe that even the best fight, I don't even think Floyd Mayweather would be doing anything like that ever. And he's the greatest ever, he's the best ever. So I'm sorry, I just feel that, advising him to do things like that, I'm not sure was the right thing. And like you say, the protecting of the fighter could have been better. Could that be an eye-opener for Yarde when he looks back at it and he thinks, maybe I need someone who's got probably a bit more, know-how in those levels of fights? I don't know, but like you called it from early doors, Tunde worries me, and I think that shows why he would worry anybody, I would say.
And on the flip side, like I said, no disrespect to Tunde.
Yeah, he's got him to that point.
But and not just that, but Tunde is actually going to learn from this fight himself.
Yeah.
He's going to look and think, what I did wrong here as well. So hopefully he does learn from it. But I just think that, from that next round, when Yarde came out, personally, I don't think he should come out that round. You could tell he's finished. But let's go also back to the fact that people are saying that he nearly won this fight. Yes, he had an amazing performance, but nearly won this fight. Kovalev put it into gear 7. Gears that don't even exist for some fighters. This is an elite fighter that you're talking about here. The fact that he took all his shots. He wasn't even defending when Yarde was clocking him. This man just went full Russian, bruv. Russian with love, bruv.
From Russia with love.
From Russia with love, bro. He literally upped the levels. I could not believe my eyes. At this age, he just used like you said before, all his experience, and he just literally upped the levels. And there was nothing that Yarde could have done.
I was watching afterwards, Bunce was interviewing him and that, saying, oh, you were this, you were that, brilliant, amazing, top, like, it's unbelievable, you were quality out there. Yeah, I was like, bruv, what are you gassing him up for when you just lost? Be complimentary. No, be complimentary and say, listen, it was a good performance and it showed a lot of heart. But obviously, you came up short. Where do you feel that you came up short? So stuff like that. You know how other mans commentate? Don't be gassing him up like that. He doesn't want to hear that shit. He knows he just got beat. He said it himself. He was the one saying it, yeah, but I've lost. So, it ain't that great because I got beat. And I'm not taking anything away from but I've got beat. Kovalev comes over and said it straight. This experience won me that fight. And that's what championship rounds are. That's what everyone talks about championship rounds. That's the business end of the fight. You can set up a fight as much as you want. Kovalev knew at that point, I can go there. I've got levels, I've got gears, and I can go through it. I've got to this stage, I can go through it. I've taken his best shots, I can win this fight, and I will win this fight. So
the way he did it was mad. Yeah. His stiff left jab. Oh my goodness, he was there for the taking every time, bro. Boom, boom, boom.
So to wrap this up, then, where do you see it go next for Yarde?
Just to bigger and better things for him, bro.
But what's bigger and better? Would a rematch would that be the right thing to do?
Well, maybe, but I don't think Kovalev is going to be interested. I think Kovalev now is just chasing that Canelo fight and done.
And do you think now that people are going to want to fight Yarde?
I think Yarde has proven now that he can mix it with those people. This is what we wanted to see. Like I said, we're massive Yarde fans, even from his entrance. The way he bopped out the tune, the way he bopped out, I was like, yes, this is my guy. Yeah, and even when he fought, but there were certain things like we mentioned about pumping of the chest after that great 8th round, he come out and he just kept pumping his chest. I was like, this is what you said. This we need to work. You need to be working here, player.
Yeah, with championship experience.
Yeah, championship experience.
But I agree with you. I think like Kovalev now, I think he's going to go into that mode now of his career that I'm a champion. I'm going to maximize my P.
And
I'm going to go and
there's only one way, bro.
I'm going to go and make my money. And then for Yarde, I think he has now proven to people. So this could go one or two ways. Either he's going to prove to people that I'm ready for this level, and people are going to be like, oof, I ain't got to fight him, so I'm not going to fight him. Yeah. Or it's going to be people who be like, you know what? I've seen what he's about. I can get big money going fight in the UK. I'm going to go to the UK and I'll beat him because I don't think he's very good. So it can go one or two ways. But head held high. I think he had a good performance. But you're up against somebody who's a slick operator, and Kovalev, respect.
Yeah, I mean, let's know your views on this fight and our take on it, especially around things around Tunde, around about his performance and where they go next, because that would be very interesting to know from our point of view as well, to see if you people agree.
And surely, listen, we told you. Told you.
What do you say, man? Anyway, until the next one, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment.
Peace.